What if I told you that in the second week of Bahrain, Ferrari is not only testing parts, but issuing a direct warning to the entire grid? Because what is happening right now in the desert is not just another round of tests. While many teams continue to collect data, adjust maps and hide their true potential, Ferrari has decided to do exactly the opposite. Show an aggressive, complete and ready-to-compete package of improvements now. And that has caused an immediate reaction in the paddock. Ferrari enters the second week of Bahrain with a lighter car, revised aerodynamics and an updated power unit that is already being squeezed in real conditions. It is not a minor evolution. It is a declaration of intent. And if the data they are validating on the track confirms what they have seen in the simulator, the blow could be much bigger than we imagine. Ferrari does not enter the second week of Bahrain as a team that simply wants to confirm that everything is working. It arrives as a team that has already decided to accelerate the internal calendar of its project. After accumulating kilometers in Barcelona and in the first test round in the desert, the Italian team understood something key. The data was already enough to take a more aggressive step. And that step couldn't wait until the first race. It had to happen here now in Bahrain. What we saw at the car's initial presentation was actually a solid foundation under the new regulations. A version designed to start with stability, with room for development and without taking unnecessary risks. But after thousands of kilometers of correlation between wind tunnel, simulator and track, Ferrari detected clear areas of improvement. And most importantly, it validated that these improvements could be transferred to the asphalt without breaking the general balance of the car. That is why the second week in Bahrain is not a continuation of the initial program, it is the beginning of the true competitive version of the project. The package they put on the court combines three fundamental pillars. First, the weight savings. In an era where each kilo determines acceleration, thermal management and ballast distribution, approaching the minimum limit is pure gold. A revised chassis and optimized components allow Ferrari to not only gain direct performance, but also play with the car's balance. On a circuit like Bahrain, where traction at low speed and stability under heavy braking are critical, that flexibility can make invisible differences in a lap, but decisive in long runs. Second, the aerodynamic review. We are not talking about a simple adjustment to the front wing. Ferrari modifies the way the flow reaches the ground, how it is channeled around the wheels and how it is stabilized in the rear area. This is key in a regulation where floor efficiency remains at the heart of performance. In the second week of Bahrain, the objective is no longer to discover basic behaviors, but to validate that the new aerodynamic architecture maintains stability when the car runs with high fuel loads, when temperatures exceed 30 degrees and when side wind alters the air intake in fast corners. And the third pillar is the power unit. Ferrari plans to mount a fresh specification after having squeezed the initial one for thousands of kilometers. It is not a simple replacement for mileage. It is a version designed to begin exploring more aggressive maps, greater electrical deployment and new energy management configurations. In the context of the new hybrid balance, where the electric part has more prominence, efficiency in recovery and deployment can define overtaking, defense and race pace. Bahrain, with its long straights and strong braking, is the perfect laboratory to test that system under pressure. The most interesting thing is the moment chosen. Other teams prefer to save important developments for the first Grand Prix, seeking the surprise effect. Ferrari does the opposite. He decides to show his technical direction already in testing, forcing his rivals to react without knowing if they are still seeing the real roof of the Italian car or just its first major competitive version. That generates doubt, and in Formula One, doubt is a powerful strategic tool. While some teams are still comparing base configurations, evaluating correlation or hiding fuel loads, Ferrari is starting to run long runs with the new integrated package. No loose parts, not isolated tests, everything working as a whole. And that completely changes the internal reading of his rivals. Because when a team introduces modified flooring, revised rear flow management, weight reduction and a fresh power unit specification at the same time, it means confidence in the correlation is sky high. In Bahrain there is a key factor: degradation. It is a circuit that punishes tires, brakes and temperature of the hybrid unit. If the new aerodynamic package really stabilizes the car on corner exit and improves straight line efficiency without overloading the front axle, Ferrari will not only gain lap time, gain consistency. And in a long season, consistency counts as much as pure speed. Furthermore, the work on the flow around the rear wheels is not accidental. In dirty air conditions, many cars suffer loss of rear load and overheating of tires. If Ferrari manages to maintain stability in traffic, it means that they are thinking beyond the test. They are thinking of direct fight. They are thinking about real career. And that's what's really scary. But the most delicate point is the power unit. Validating more aggressive maps and testing means that they are not afraid to expose their energy architecture from now on. The new hybrid balance requires seamless management between recovery and deployment. If in the second week Ferrari is already working with configurations close to the operating limit, it means that the basic reliability phase has been passed. Now they are exploring performance. And here the psychological component appears. Because when a team shows technical confidence in testing, it forces the others to make uncomfortable decisions. Do you keep your original plan? Are they advancing evolutions? Do they react even if your data is not ready yet? In Formula 1, accelerating development due to external pressure can lead to correlation errors, rushed parts, or unexpected imbalances. Ferrari, consciously or not, is pushing its rivals into that risk zone. The second week in Bahrain then becomes more than just tests. It is the moment where Ferrari makes it clear that its project is not in the construction phase. It is in the execution phase. They are no longer looking for basic answers. They are fine-tuning details. And if what they validate on the track matches their internal simulations, the real threat will not just be speed. It will be the feeling within the paddock that Ferrari has arrived prepared before the rest. Because if the aggressive package they have put on the track confirms in real data what the simulator promised, then we are not facing a simple preseason improvement. We are facing the moment in which Ferrari changes the narrative of the championship even before the first traffic light goes out. At this point we are no longer talking about new parts. We talk about validation. Long runs begin to reveal consistency. The degradation seems more controlled. The car is more stable under hard braking in Bahrain and more efficient in traction when exiting slow corners. If the weight reduction allows for better play with the balance and the new floor stabilizes the flow in changing wind conditions, Ferrari not only gains pure performance, it gains operating margin. And in Formula 1, the operating margin is being able to adapt to any scenario without losing competitiveness. The real impact comes when we combine this with the power unit. If the more aggressive maps do not compromise reliability and the electrical deployment remains solid lap after lap, then Ferrari could have closed one of the most delicate gaps in the current regulations: energy efficiency under pressure. In Bahrain, where every straight line is an opportunity and every braking a thermal challenge, validating this is almost like rehearsing a real race. And this is where the blow stops being technical and becomes structural. Because if Ferrari arrives at the first race with a car already optimized, with a validated correlation and with internal confidence in its complete package, it will force its rivals to react from race 1. That means accelerated development, internal pressure, planning changes. It means other teams could start the season defending rather than attacking. But there is something even more powerful: the message. Ferrari has not waited. He has not hidden. He hasn't played the game. He has decided to show direction, confidence, and aggressiveness since the second week in Bahrain. This conveys that the project is not under construction. It is ready to compete. And when a team transmits confidence before the official start of the championship, the psychological effect can be as important as the tenths on the track. Now, there is also risk. Showing too early means that rivals can analyze, interpret, and prepare a response. If there are hidden weaknesses, they will be exposed. If the correlation fails under different conditions, the blow can backfire. Ferrari is betting big. It is saying, we believe in what we have built. And that bet turns the second week of Bahrain into something much more transcendent than simple tests. It is the point where Ferrari makes it clear that it wants to set the pace of the championship from minute zero. If everything falls into place, this may be remembered as the moment Ferrari pulled off the first big coup of the year, before the season even officially started. Ferrari has not come to the second week of Bahrain to hide cards, nor to complete kilometers without intention. He has come to validate a complete concept, to integrate an aggressive package and to measure it under real conditions that simulate what the start of the championship will be. And that completely changes the reading of this preseason. Because when a team decides to advance its most important evolution to the test itself, it is sending a very clear message. The internal correlation is solid, the technical direction is defined, and confidence in the project is high. They are not improvising. They are not reacting. They are executing. The weight reduction, deep aerodynamic overhaul, and new power unit specification are not isolated moves. They are part of a comprehensive strategy that aims to start the championship with the most optimized car possible from the first race. If the data collected in this second week confirms stability, energy efficiency, and consistency in long runs, Ferrari will not only arrive prepared, it will arrive with a psychological advantage. The second week of Bahrain, then, is no longer a simple testing phase. It becomes the moment in which Ferrari makes clear its intention to set the pace from the beginning of the championship. Not as an applicant, not as a pursuer, but as a team that wants to impose the technical standard. Let me know in the comments what you think about all this.